Hi, I'm Fran from Accurascale, and you're watching the Monday Club.
It's Monday, it's 7 p.m, and the Bronx are on parade. It's time for the Monday Club, featuring your host, Jennifer Kirk, with the help of the Covered Monkey, and your host with the Toast Topsy Toaster, and a wizard called Gandalf, featuring the sounds of the Class 08 Symphony Orchestra and the musical stylings of Gordon, the music maestro. Let's get ready to loco! Ho, ho, ho! Ooh.
The Monday Club is proudly sponsored by TMC, the Model Centre. Check them out at themodelcentre.com. The website features extensive stocks of new models as well as selective pre-owned items where you can track down that bargain you've always wanted. Pre-order with confidence all of the forthcoming models from all the manufacturers. TMC also offer a renumbering and renaming service so you can get the exact identity of locomotive that you want. Why not also check out their value weathering, or go for something incredibly special with their bespoke service where you can choose from a more extensive weathered look right through to custom graffiti either off the peg or to a design of your choice. Check out TMC today at themodelcentre.com and start your model journey. A big hello to you. It's amazing to see you, and I really do hope you're well. I'm Jenny Kirk. Welcome you up here to Weir Yard, and today it's the Monday Club, 7 o'clock as always, and of course everybody is welcome to your online model railway club. I do have a Cupboard Monkey here. Cupboard Monkey? Absolutely, and we're going to be having a special guest in a bit. We've got Richard Watson from Accurascale.
You finally managed to track him
down. I have finally managed to get new Junction on, albeit on video link. So that is going to be coming up in the next 10 minutes. But if you're wondering, why is there no chat on the screen? This is a pre-record for reasons. I can't remember what the reasons are.
The reason was it was a technical thing. He won't be able to make it from 7, so we pre-recorded when he was at work.
Yes, so anyway, we've got a pre-record tonight. I know we billed it as being Hornby on, but for, again, technical reasons, we're hoping for that to be next week. But we thought, what with the really unusual, I thought that anybody was expecting the announcement of a Class 60 from Accurascale. We thought that it would be an amazing opportunity to get an exclusive interview with Richard Watson from Accurascale to talk about the Class 60s, address the elephant in the room of duplication, and also talking a little bit about his dual role as New Junction, one of the pivotal YouTubers in the model railway world.
You're not supposed to give away his secret identity.
Oh, well, people are.
How is he supposed to fight crime?
Well, with a cape and a mask.
Yeah, but you just told everyone who he is.
Do you think he turns up with his cape flapping in the breeze? He's like, I'm New Junction. But we've got him coming up.
I'm J-Man.
We've got him coming up in a bit, and this is an exclusive talk about the Class 60. But just to give people a chance to get in, get comfortable, we will be having Gandalf putting in an occasional appearance just to let people know if they think that they've snuck in late and got away with it.
A Monday clubber is never late to the wagons, nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Absolutely. And of
Thanks,
course,
Gandalf.
all your favourites are here. Well, Topsy Toaster, isn't it? He's off at Toaster.
He's gone to see his mum.
Yeah, he's gone to see his mum. Yeah, his mum wanted some toast. And of course, there's a tumble of clowns. Oh, and of course, always, stragglers. So, oh, the Dukes of Clown. So, yeah, trying to jump their clown car over a ravine with Sheriff W. Roscoe in hot pursuit.
My name is Roscoe. That's Roscoe. It's spell good.
Stop it.
Well, that's
So
go a
it's
long way in a short time.
Yes, you could.
Jen,
Yes.
is there any news?
Yes, there is actually. The Dapol Air Ministry tankers in 00 are now hitting the shops. In fact, they have hit the shops. And these look really, really good, actually. I've been following their progress with some interest. And they've got independent suspension, which I know that the Pico Wonderful Wagon kits had that, but you had to actually make them. And it was a little bit fiddly, but these are a production model, so out of the box, all finished, all singing, all dancing, ready to go. And I am going to be getting some. I do want to get some. And I think that it'd be interesting to see how that improves the running. Now, I have heard from a few people who've already got some that they are actually pretty good. So if you want them, then do get your order in, because they're sure to prove really popular. And of course, the other news is the Accurascale announcement of the Class 60. And I know there's been some whining online, because, well, there always is some whining. But don't think they just went, I know, let's just pull it out of a hat, because they have been working on it for a number of years, and actually gone to tooling, and they had decorated samples on display in the announcement. So this has been a long time coming. Some amazing features in these, and we're going to be talking to Richard Watson, aka New Junction, all about this in an exclusive interview here on the Monday Club. It's just great to actually get him on. I have so tried to get him on here for so long. So it's an absolute honor. He's probably going to bail now. Be like, well, I heard what you're saying down the line, and see ya. But is there any news from you, Monkey of Cupboardness?
Any news from me? Well, to be honest with you, not a huge amount, because, as you would expect, I spend most of my time just editing videos. We have had an influx of new products that just keep coming through. So, from my point of view, it's just been work. And as a result, I don't have much to say about anything, except I did get some new... I basically, I had a redo of my plan for the box file, because I got some new
how's that
points
going?
instead.
You've got... Oh, yes. Where was... Oh, yeah, the Bolton Model Railway
Went to the
Club.
Bolton Model
We
Railway
went
Club.
to one of their open days down Bolton Model Railway Club. They're in the marketplace in Bolton, just in the upstairs bit. And they've got a second-hand stall. And I say this time and time again, that the second-hand stalls, club stands, are often a really great source of bargains, because the stuff is priced to sell, and they know they're selling to fellow enthusiasts. So it really is a great way that you can support the club and also grab a bargain. And you got yourself a double slip in N-gauge.
The cross-shaped one.
Yes, yeah, but it's a cross shape, but it's like 2 points together and a crossing.
And the idea was that this will take up far less space in the box than what I was going to do with the little Y-shaped ones instead.
Yes, so you're actually going to be able to get a lot more going on.
So I can actually put in the brewery and the factory that I've been working on. And I think that's going to make a huge difference. Yeah,
and of course you'll have already seen the part 1 of my box file build.
Yeah.
I've been waiting so long to get that out. I actually filmed that about a month ago.
That's what I mean. We have been so festooned with stuff that...
Which actually, what it shows is that there's so many great new products coming out.
Well, not just that, it's just not just products, but we've just had so much going on in the hobby as a whole. Yeah, it's been hard to keep up.
And I think anybody who tries to make out that the hobby is dying, it's like doom and gloom for the hobby, is just complete shill on the subject.
They're trying to sell something.
Yeah, it's clickbaiting it up, because actually the hobby has never been better.
I would fully agree with that. There's so much going on.
Absolutely, and so many new products coming through, and a lot of sales on at the moment.
Yeah.
So, grab yourself a bargain. I have been trying to highlight some of these. And actually, the crane, I know I keep banging on about this crane, but I'm actually really pleased with this. And if you're thinking, oh, okay, I'll get one, they've sold out. Actually, I think a lot of people went, oh, actually, yeah, I'll give that a go. They've completely sold out. And it's just incredible. It's like, you know, these have been hanging around for years and years, and then we do a video and people go, oh yeah, okay, I'll have one. And they've proved very popular.
I'm really impressed by how well you put that together.
Yeah, and
it just looks amazing.
It does. I think it's in the weathering, and that was one of the things that I brought home in the video, that you can weather stuff and get a really great result with that. You're right there. You're clicking manically. What's going on?
I'm getting your Junction ready.
Oh, right, okay.
It's on the line.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry. He sat there like, patiently going, yeah, you know we're going to put the kids to bed.
Right, here we go.
So, okay, so we're going to be going over to New Junction. A big hello to you. It's great to see you, and I hope I find you well. And we're joined today with an extra special guest. We've got Richard Watson from Accurascale, and we're recording this on the day that they made their announcement of an all-new tooled Class 60 model. And it's caused quite a bit of a stir out there. I think, you know, Class 60, very, very popular. I don't like to call it modern image because it's been a while that they've been around, but certainly a very popular model. And Richard, welcome to the channel. But how's it gone today? You've announced the Class 60. Has there been some really good feedback? Have you started to gauge how much in the way of interest there is in this particular class now that it's out in the open?
Well, yeah. Firstly, thank you very much for having me on the Monday Club. It's been a long time coming, I think. So thank you to both of you. But no, the 60 launch today has been as expected for an Accurascale model. It's been extremely busy. Lots of people pre-ordering straight off the bat with ourselves and their local retailers. So it's been quite an exciting and busy day, as you can imagine.
Absolutely. And it's one of the things actually that really did grab me from the announcement is the price point. It's actually, in this day and age where price is everything, and you know, wherever you look, every other comment seems to be about price of new models coming through from all the manufacturers. But Accurascale have been able to put it out at what is actually quite a keen price point. How difficult is it to be able to make sure that, you know, when you're doing all the fidelity, all the detail, that it doesn't push the price up too far?
Well, it's I suppose it comes down to the company as it's built ground up. Because I mean, we have the benefit of being a relatively new company. I think we're 7 years old now, but the whole company's been designed to sort of modern standards, dare I say it. So everything's streamlined with an aim ultimately of providing good value for the end user, the end customer, hopefully without having to compromise on the model quality, whether that be a wagon or a locomotive.
Absolutely. And with the Class 60, you've announced quite late in the development cycle. So, you know, we're seeing, is it like decorated samples, I think, within in the press release. So, you know, it's quite a lot later than some companies do announce. What's the thinking behind announcing later rather than earlier with a new model?
So I suppose traditionally we would have launched at what sort of EP stage or CAD stage, maybe just before EP stage, which is engineering prototype. But actually one of the most common bits of feedback we actually had earlier on was that people were really excited about announcements, but then it would be subsequently 2 years on average until people actually saw the model. So I think it was just before Christmas this year, the company decided to change the way they launch models so that we basically launched them at deco stage. So in theory, you'd have sort of 6 to 12 months worth of wait. So still enough time that you can, say, start a payment plan with your local shop or ourselves and still save up, or save up yourself. But they're not close enough that you're scrabbling around to try and find 160 quid before the end of the week.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose it swings and roundabouts in that there have been complaints in the past levelled against manufacturers that it's almost like a game of Bagsy, that they say, we're doing this, and then it turns out that they've literally announced at the point that they've started work. So there's years and years of waiting. And then you've got the other end of the scale where increasingly there's another manufacturer. They'll say, we're doing this, and by the way, it'll be in the shops next week. And I suppose that you've got to strike a balance, because either people get bored of waiting or they go, oh, where's the money coming from? But certainly, I suppose it does bring with it a few problems, as I suppose there's been an element of today with people saying, oh, duplication. But, is that, as a manufacturer, is it quite upsetting when you see people making allegations like that, when you yourself know that there are years of work that's gone into that model before it's been announced?
I suppose it's not necessarily frustrating for us, because I suppose Accurascale as a company have come into an established marketplace, and I suppose our remit is almost to try and shake up the establishment with new models that are already in core ranges out there. I think a lot of consumers potentially could forget the fact that more competition does drive down price and drives up quality in theory. So competition is a good thing. It's only a bad thing for the manufacturer who's trying to sell products. Ultimately, if your product isn't good enough, people won't buy it, whether that's ours or whether that's someone else's.
And I suppose that there are definitely models out there where the market is big enough. I suppose with the Class 60s, it was a fairly large fleet, lasting quite a long time with a lot of different liveries. So you could argue that there's more than enough room for two or even more models. But one of the things I noticed from your announcement today is talking about the detail differences. And how extensive is the tooling suite of your model in terms of being able to take in what can often be quite subtle differences between members of the class?
Well, I think one of the nice things about Accurascale is, just to tell you a bit more about how we make a model, is all our models where we can or come from a 3D scan of the real locomotive or rolling stock. Which gives us a really good building base to build a model off. So a lot of the details get captured in that, but then also our project managers, excuse me, will then go through the locomotive or rolling stock's history, picking up all the points where things have changed upon its timeline. So for example, with the 60, the roofs and the roof vents changed 3 times, I think, in their lifetime. Whereas ordinarily you wouldn't necessarily think we need to change that. But the way our tooling suite works is we can basically follow the history of a model. So whichever era of model you buy, you can have an accurate representation, which is quite something in today's modelling age, I think.
Absolutely. And how much assistance have you had from people in the industry who work every day with the full-size Class 60s to be able to have access, to be able to really get up close and personal with the real locomotives to ensure that the model is super accurate?
Oh, absolutely massive. I mean, it quite literally takes years to build up the, I suppose, the knowledge to be able to put this model together. So, for example, we're looking at our project manager, Steve, who is behind R60, actually used to work with them. So we're lucky in that front, but we've also had, obviously you get all your research materials, you visit depots, you talk to drivers, you actually see the things actually working, see how they operate, everything from how they operate to the sounds, all this has to be captured, so you can sort of try and capture it in the model form. But we've been extremely lucky, actually, with the 60, because we've had a chap called Dave Moore, who is the commissioning engineer for the original 60, the actual locomotive, and he's been with us throughout all the years of putting this together, sort of correcting us where things haven't come back right from the factory and things that should change, so we make the right compromises in model form and things. So we've been very lucky in that front. But it's like that for any project. You have to go really, really deep into it, and it can take years to build these things up.
And I mean, it's interesting to note that I believe that the real locomotives were designed and built over an 18-month period. And it's quite interesting to note that models take longer than the full-sized locomotives that they're modelled after. But I suppose as I was talking with Zoe before the interview started, Brush Traction didn't have to make sure that theirs looked exactly like something else. They just built it. You're actually trying to replicate that in miniature. And is that a really hard process to, you talked about 3D scanning, but clearly there's more than just that. You can't just scan a locomotive and it sort of churns out of a computer. How much crawling over real locomotives with a camera and tape measures actually goes into making these models in this digital age?
I suppose speaking for ourselves only, it's an incredible amount. So, like we say, a scan is the starting point. But really, unless you get hands and knees underneath, over a loco, etc., in a loco, you'll never truly know it. And you'd be amazed by how many subtle things have changed through, say, a loco's history, just because something was happening or a driver complained about X, Y, Z and things like that. And it's absolutely incredible. And then, of course, double O gauge not being a true scale, you've also then got compromises, so you can't just, like you say, shrink down a scan. This is where we rely on the skill set of the project managers and our CAD engineers and the factories and things like that, just to sort of make everything work and look like a Class 60 in this case.
And I mean, given that the Class 92 has been a previous model from Accurascale, and they do share a very similar body shell, was the Class 60 envisaged even whilst you were making the Class 92? And is there actually much that might carry over between the R&D from the previous model, or is it completely had to start from scratch?
Well, I suppose the project managers were different, but they always share information, so relevant information always passes across. I mean, both the 92 and the 60 were Accurascale projects, long before I joined the company. But I mean, to add to our Powering Britain range, you can pretty much guess what we'll eventually do, because it will be everything that fits that category. So everything is in the firing line. There's your fair warning to everyone else, I suppose.
But I mean, Powering Britain, it's a great tagline. But I suppose you could argue for a lot of things in that. How do you actually focus in on a particular model? I mean, admittedly, with the wagons, you've gone for some of the more obvious ones, but you've also done things like the HUO hoppers, which quite a few people might have said would be perhaps a slightly more obscure coal wagon. And it took you until comparatively recently to announce the HTO and HTV hopper wagons. But yeah, what sort of a process goes into deciding what will be the next model?
Well, I suppose this answer, I think, frustrates a lot of people, because it does come down to what will sell.
Yes.
And dare we say it, the core market is very, or can be, dare we say it, predictable. And then your core products become predictable from that, such as a 37. You're always going to sell 37s.
Yes.
As an example. But then you have to have a project like a 37 to be able to back up a project which is, say, maybe a bit more of a risk, or something without as many liveries or things like that. So a good example is we get a lot of requests for the 185 multiple unit, which is a modern image thing. But that's only been in a handful of liveries, but it would have the cost of, say, 4 locomotive projects.
Yeah. I think people forget that just because one part of it doesn't have a motor in, the motor is actually a very small part of the actual cost of making a model. So when you're making multiple units, you're tooling up for 2, 3, 4, or even more parts, which makes the end product very expensive. And then the next breath from modelers is, oh, that's too much money. But it's like, well, hold on, you're getting like 3, 4 locomotives in one hit in this.
Yeah, so I mean, especially as Accurascale's still relatively quite a young company, we've sort of got to concentrate on our core product range before we can really start branching out into things that may be seen as a bit more of a gamble, as much as we'd all want one.
Yeah, and how much is there an element to it? Because you guys at Accurascale, you're all railway modelers yourself. How much is there a temptation to go, actually, I really want a model of this. Should we do this?
It's funny, they do give you a wish list. So you sort of, Accurascale has its list, and then the project managers have their wish lists of ultimate things, and they do get mixed in, and we will be seeing some oddities join the range. That's for sure. So do keep your ears peeled for that.
So is your personal wish list? You've put one in, then, have you?
Oh, absolutely.
Have we?
I think a lot of people will probably be guessing right now in the comments.
So I mean, have obviously I'm not in a position to tell me. I wouldn't even want you to. But have any of the things that you have personally kind of pushed in their direction, they've seriously taken on board and thought, actually, yeah, we could look at that?
Oh, absolutely, yes. No, they definitely include them. But like we say, our biggest problem is we've not got a back library of sort of tooling from years gone by, so everything's brand new and everything has to start from scratch. So unfortunately, everything's years away.
And how much in that? I mean, the model industry at the moment, it does seem to be driven by new releases far more than it ever was. I mean, I can remember decades ago, there used to be a model would be in the catalogue and it would stay in the catalogue for a very long time. And new releases seem to be much further apart. Has it almost become like an arms race where there's this feeling that new models are where the sales are at, and you have to keep constantly putting out completely new tooled models?
Well, I think we've definitely got a lot more competition now, and hopefully Accurascale is bringing that competition to some of the established players. And a competition is a good thing because it keeps everyone keen and keeps everyone, or all the models, constantly evolving, even if that's just a different technique at the factory, things like that. So it's always a good thing to have a bit of competition. You wouldn't want to be the last one standing, that's for sure.
I suppose so, and to flip that on its head, we wouldn't want to be having the models that we had in the 1980s simply because there'd been no impetus to improve upon that. So I do agree with you that it is pretty good. And how far in advance does Accurascale work on models? So you've just announced the 60 today at the time of filming this, but how long has that been in process for to build up to that?
So as we announced today, we're probably roughly about 6 months or so away from landing them, which is very advanced in our industry. But this will have been on their workbench for easily 3 years for today. Yeah, these are long projects, even before they go anywhere near the Far East.
I can imagine, and I suppose that means that you've got to have this constant tube of new models being worked on at different stages. Does that make it very difficult to actually keep things secret? I suppose from your point of view, you know everything that Accurascale's working on. Is there an element that you have to be very careful not to let stuff slip?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, a lot of it, like we see, ultimately, it's once the company commits to a tooling, basically you've paid for it, and whatever happens next, it's coming, regardless if it's in 6 months or 3 years. It has to arrive because the company's had the outlay.
Yeah.
So there is a great deal of secrecy around projects yet to be announced. That's for sure.
And of course, I mean, tooling costs are huge. I mean, they'd make a brand new 5 Series BMW seem positively cheap by comparison. And I think perhaps some people lose sight of the fact that a company can't just write that off. There is a point where you're committed to carry on with the project. But with the Class 60s, what unique features are these bringing to the range? Because each of your previous models, it does feel like each one has brought something new, a new innovation over and above what the previous release from Accurascale did. So what is the 60 bringing for us?
Well, the 60 is actually quite special because obviously it's brand new, as like everything else we're doing, but there's been a few finite design features around it. So not only have we managed to capture all the features of the history of the 60, but also the design has changed. So normally, if you imagine you've got your model of say a 60, but then you've also got to crab in all the model elements like the motors, the PCBs, all the electrics, the various speakers in there. But the 60 is quite unique because the radiator room is actually see-through, and the various corridors behind the cab is also see-through. So you actually lose quite a bit of space and potential to add, say, weight, because the 60 is going to have to pull a lot of stock. So there's been actually quite a few nice, unique design tweaks to be able to basically squeeze in all the electrics and all the motors and keep it at being Accurascale's heaviest loco to date. I think it's 825 grams.
Yeah, it is a very heavy beast, and I must say, yeah, I saw in the press release, it's quite a striking feature of the pictures where you can see in through one body side grille, and then you've got the internal detail, and then straight back out the other side, which, you know, even just a short few years ago, nobody would have dreamt of doing that on a model. But what other features are we getting as standard? Will these come with an onboard stay alive that we saw introduced with the Class 55?
So absolutely. So you get all the usual high-end features. So, for example, the sound version comes with 2 speakers. We have 4 capacitors on there for stay alive, so you'll have faultless running. You've got obviously low gearing, so you can pull your heavy stock, no problem at all. Obviously, the weight factor. You have all your lights, your yard lights, your things like that, and then of course the Accurascale fan favorite, which is the magnetic roof, so you can have full access to your DCC chip.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, the company did that right back to the very start. I've got one of the A class from your sister company, Irish Railway Models, and this was quite a revelation when it first appeared. Just being able to lift the roof off, and I suppose it's one of the things that. As a modeler, do you almost wish that other manufacturers would follow your lead and do stuff like that for making things easier for DCC fitting?
Ultimately, as a modeler, yes, absolutely. And I think we will probably see that in time. We will see certain elements that we've brought to the market certainly being emulated and replicated, which is only a good thing. And same again, it's the competition aspect driving the market forward. So ultimately, we're getting better models every time a new one comes out. Hopefully.
And how many different versions of the Class 60 are we seeing in this initial release? And will it cover all of the different major liveries that the prototype ran in?
Yes, we will. So the initial livery run, we've got 11. 4 of those will be exclusive. And as we record this, they've yet to be announced, but some of them have been teased.
So there are exclusives out there, just so people, if people are going, oh, that's not, you haven't done the one I want, maybe they should hang on just a little bit to see what comes through from those.
Oh, absolutely. And of course, one thing we do also do with our exclusives, we do a charity version. So there'll also be a special one that's the real locos linked to a charity, and of course we'll then donate hopefully a sizable sum of money if people buy into it. I've not told anyone about the Monday Club special Class 60 yet, mine, but I'll let you announce that.
Yeah, mates rates and all that. But of course, I mean, seriously though, obviously with the Class 66, you did the prostate cancer locomotive. That did incredibly well, raising a lot of money for charity. And you know, is that something that you want to do with every release of model, to do stuff like that?
Absolutely. I mean, to be fair to the real railway, it may have its faults in places, but they do like to support their charities, and it only seems right that if we're making models of the charitable locos or with the charitable causes, that we should also join that, because it means so much to so many people. I mean, we were absolutely blown away by the, for example, the prostate cancer 66, which is, as we're recording again, that's quite a fresh release for us. And we were initially trying to raise £10,000, but we've actually over doubled that in terms of how much we've raised for donations for Prostate Cancer UK. So it's just incredible how much people want to support these charities, because it affects so many people.
Absolutely, and I guess it's one of the sort of silent things that people get embarrassed about, you know, checking for the symptoms and stuff like that. So to be able to actually not just raise the money for the good cause, but actually raise awareness that it can strike anybody, and that people need to be vigilant about themselves, and you know, if they find anything's not quite as they expect, or you know, things change unexpectedly, that to actually go and see a doctor. And I think it's great to be able to tell people that you know, this is important. Don't feel embarrassed about it.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. And like we say, the other one with the 66s was the Samaritans charity. And of course,
Yes.
mental health is a big thing these days. And of course, it's very important. Same again, if it raises awareness or whatnot, it's always worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. And mental health is something that there's been a few campaigns, especially with railway modelers. There are a lot of people in the hobby who, for whatever reason, maybe there's a lot of loneliness issues, a lot of especially during lockdown, we found that as soon as the ability to go to clubs was taken away, a lot of people found themselves sat at home on their own. So it's very important to make people aware that they're not alone, and that there are things to help you out there. And I think it's a great thing that Accurascale are supporting these charities in this way. But to bring it back to the Class 60, where can people order it? And I presume that with a really great price point being announced on it today, they're going to be selling quite quickly. So there's plenty of Accurascale stockists that people can turn to.
Yes, we have over 100 local retailers who are our stockists. You can find that list on our website, and of course, full details of the Class 60 and the models on our website. And you can also pre-order them on our website as well. Mm-hmm. And we offer, you can pre-order them today with zero money down, so zero deposit. And of course, all the Accurascale models now come with a lifetime warranty or Accuracare, so you can buy with confidence.
And where do you say, so that's, it's not a time limited thing, it's literally your lifetime, is it? With
lifetime of the model.
Lifetime of the model, right? And I suppose with the fidelity of models, it's a great peace of mind that people know that they don't have to worry about something unexpected happening internally in the model down the line, and then somebody going, "Oh no, it's out of warranty." So it is a great thing. And do you think other manufacturers will follow that lead?
I'd be surprised. I mean, it was quite a big step for us to be able to do and put in place. We had to have considerable investment in our own behind-the-scenes facilities to be able to potentially cope with that in years to come. But no, I mean, ultimately, we're making toy trains we want people to play with. We don't want them to sit in boxes. We want people to use them and have fun with them and enjoy them. But if something goes pop, this should be a case of send a quick message and then quick fix, and you're back running and playing again.
And that's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Well, look, thank you so much for talking with us about the new release, the announcement today, the Class 60. It's certainly going to be a great model, and we're looking at I think did you say six months or so?
Yeah, Q1 2025.
Q1 2025. But now that I've got you on here, I have been bugging you for an awfully long time to come on the channel. So look, thank you for coming on, but I've got to talk to you about your YouTube career. We have the joke in the Monday Club about we say your name 3 times and you shall appear. But you've very much been a fixture of the YouTube model rail scene for quite some time now. How did you first start to get into that? What was your YouTube start?
Well, believe it or not, I started YouTube back in sixth form when I was doing media studies of all things. Mm-hmm. And it was one of the elements of coursework we had, which was to create, to do animation basically. And this was just as YouTube was starting. Mm. And I was doing a course on stop motion animation.
Oh, right.
And so my channel used to be filled with lots of stop motion things. Which luckily helped me pass my course at that point and go further on. But that's how I started. Nothing to do with railways, believe it or not.
Oh, well, I'll be honest, this channel started with nothing to do with railways as well. It's funny how it happens. But
where did we both go wrong?
Yeah, it's like there was a door somewhere, and I was like, oh no, I won't go through that one. I'll go through this one over here. That's and it's. Do you find YouTube it can be quite a thankless task? Or do you find it an absolute joy all the time?
I mean, I've been particularly lucky, I think, with the model railway side of things. Is lots of people are interested in what I've been doing, so it's kept the motivation there to keep going with the sort of layout updates and videos on my own railway. And like we were touching on when we were talking about the various models, it can be, historically, it can be a very lonely hobby, where it's traditionally someone on their own working in a loft or a shed or a garage, and they're usually on their own. They're not part of a club or whatnot. And I think YouTube actually becomes that club aspect for a lot of people, just like the Monday Club and everyone watching now. We're all together, we're all talking about trains and things, and it's just nice to know you're not on your own.
Absolutely.
But,
During lockdown, we were actually on air when lockdown was announced, and it became an important focal point because people did need that human contact. And I mean, do you find that, especially when you go to shows, to model shops, that people come up to you and they talk to you like they know you very, very well because they've consumed your videos, they've got to know you, got to know your project, and how do you find that experience?
I suppose in many ways it's quite humbling because you forget that. I mean, I've been railwaying on YouTube for easily over 10 years now, and I forget, even if people watch a video or the odd video, that people will recognise me and know who I am. I think I first started to take it seriously when I was recognised in a petrol station in the middle of nowhere, and you start to think, oh, maybe I should start covering my face on videos. But no, it's absolutely amazing, really. It's humbling. Yeah. It's great to see and talk to so many people who are back in the hobby because they've watched a video, or even if they don't like what I do or they think I've done the wrong thing, it's great to see it's causing that conversation for them, and they if they can do better and things like that, great.
You've got quite a few different projects over the years. At the moment, you're building the new Junction, and the progress on that has come along really well. And do you find that the more projects you do, the better you feel you get at the hobby? And do you find that there's more and more new products on the market that you look back and you think, I wish these had been around when I started?
I mean, it's the age-old thing, especially with a roundy layout. When you start, the work you do is the best you can do. But by the time you get round the layout,
Hello? Oh, I think it's the connection's just dropped out. Oh, that's a shame. I had a couple more questions. So we're going to see if we can... you're back.
Oh, hello, I lost you then.
Yeah, you froze there a bit.
Hello.
I've just got a couple more questions, but what we'll do is...
I was just giving away all the secrets to being successful on YouTube there, but you missed it.
Yeah, there's somewhere Fran's got his finger on a red button. It's like, no, you're not talking about that. We'll hang your connection for a few minutes. You should have come back on and said, and that's the secret to life, the universe, and everything. But I mean, do you find coming up with new content hard, or are you one of those people who it's kind of like, well, I'm just doing what I'm enjoying, and I'll film it, and it's nice that people also enjoy coming along for the ride?
I suppose my content is usually what I'm doing at the time to the layout. So it's in terms of content, it's quite a simple one because it's a case of whatever I feel like I want to do next. It doesn't require anywhere near as much planning as, say, a channel like yours where you're looking at new products and you've got all these timelines and schedules and things. Yeah. I don't have any of that. It's a case of if I want to do some static grassing today, that's the subject to the next video.
Oh, can we swap? Taylor, do you want to review some stuff for a bit? I just want to lay static grass. That sounds like amazing fun.
You've got it easy. You've got a cupboard monkey.
I got a cut. Yeah, but that's just somebody else.
I need one of them.
Yes, if you've got a cupboard monkey in your cupboard. But how have you found, obviously coming from doing the work with YouTube, you then moved on, spent some time at Hornby magazine. As you transition to the other side of the velvet rope, has it been quite an eye-opener, both seeing how the magazines function, but now also at a manufacturer? And has it changed the way that you view your hobby as a whole?
Not so much. I mean, I find the whole thing, especially with the magazine, fascinating because you'd be dealing with all manufacturers and all the news and content and whatnot. So, I mean, my time at Hornby magazine was fascinating. It was very much a dream job in many ways, as is working for Accurascale now. But it's definitely eye-opening in the sense of it's a much larger world behind the scenes of model railways, and there's so many people involved to bring in us our toys, in effect.
Yeah,
there's so many skilled people. It's amazing.
Absolutely, and the models of today are obviously so far removed from even the ones that we probably grew up with as kids, and the amount of detail, the amount of separate parts as well. You can get a model, lay out all the individual parts. I love those exploded diagrams that you get in the paperwork with the models, because you just see just how much has gone into making that toy. But look, thank you so much for taking some time to join us here at the Monday Club. Certainly, it's been really quite an interesting delve into the new Class 60, some of the workings of how Accurascale, the time frames for developing models, what goes into that. But also, finally, nailed you down and got an interview with you about your YouTube stuff. you said that you'd always avoid it, but I got you in the end.
I had to kill the dream one day.
Yeah, no, but look, it's amazing getting you on. Thank you so much, and
thank you for inviting me, Jenny.
Absolutely, and I'm hoping that everybody has thoroughly enjoyed that. And just in case anybody's manically typing, going, "You're not answering my question," this is a pre-record, so obviously when this goes out, we're not actually here. So hello from the past. But look, thank you so much for joining us. It's been great to have you on. Look, you take care and keep bringing us those amazing models and also the amazing video content. And get out in your garden and do something on your garden railway.
It needs to stop raining, and I look forward to sending you a 60 to play with as well on Weir Yard.
Oh, thank you so much. Actually, yeah, I look forward to it. I must admit, Modern Image has been down the list of things for me, but looking at the picture, I love those see-through vents looking straight through the locomotive. That for me was my personal USP on the model. But yeah, thank you for the offer, and really looking forward to seeing it in the flesh. Well, thank you so much for that. It's been really great, actually, to finally get New Junction on the channel. And you heard it here first.
I didn't. I didn't get any headphones.
Yeah. Yeah. So, unfortunately, the way we do interviews, obviously got to get my headphones on. And
But every single pair of headphones that I try to plug in, I don't get enough sound.
Yeah, so if you heard lots of noises in the background, it was the cupboard monkey trying to plug in. But yeah, no, it's really great to see. And of course, Class 60, it's a pivotal model for the modern image scene. The last of the British-built big locomotives. And, still some of them with us. Sadly, quite a few of them have gone out of service. But probably a really obvious follow-on, as we talked about in the interview, from the Class 92, which they've already done, because both of them utilise the same body shell style, same cab fronts and such like. But exclusive interview, you heard it here first. But anyway, I think the Tumbler Clowns have something to say about that. No. There we go.
Okay, well there you are then.
For the sake of anybody who is currently arriving late, just to let you know that it is a pre-record tonight for technical reasons. There is chat. You can still chat away in the chat and play nice now. But in case any of you thought you'd snuck in without Gandalf noticing, Gandalf, oh, here he comes.
A Monday clubber is never late to the wagons, nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Thanks, Gandalf. And
You're
of course,
welcome.
just to let you know, everybody always asks actually what I'm running, so I might get through it now. So on the layout, you'll see actually we've got a Class 92 running. I thought I'd put that on as we had Richard Watson from Accurascale / New Junction on. So staying on message. We've got the Class 92 running on the... I actually use that as my model test train at the moment. A bunch of Mark 1s and Cresley coaches. We've also got, what's going around behind... Oh, it's gone past now. An Accurascale, also staying on message, Class 37. It's 37027 I think it's Loch Isle. I don't know, actually. Should check these things. I do like it, actually. It runs like a champ. Both of them sound fitted. And you were quite impressed, actually, with the electric Class 92 when I gave you a blast of it. You said, oh, that sounds really good. It
sounded incredible. To be honest with you, it's the closest I've heard to something sounding real.
Yeah, and that's the ESU Locksound V5, but they've also got some pretty beefy speakers in these things. Also got, and actually I just realised that I really went all in, didn't I, with on message. So there's also an Accurascale Class 55 going around.
Is that the Green Deltic?
The Green Deltic on a freight train. Sacrilege, I know.
Green Deltic.
And that's actually, funny enough, fitted not with the ESU Locksound, because I actually bought that myself from Rails. And it wasn't a review sample. It was actually one of the Rails special commissions. And it's fitted with a HM7000 decoder and power bank. And I think the Tumble of Clowns have got on board. So I think that's...
Can I hear a straggler? I thought I could hear a straggler.
Yes, you could. And then we've also got Bachmann Class 25s. We've got one on the ABC. And we've also got one running around on the top level. You're just seeing it go into the tunnel at the moment. The other ABCs, actually, I put the 27... on one line and a Gronk on another, and neither of them seem to want to play. What's wrong?
Amazon have sent out Doctor Who the Celestial Toymaker on DVD 6 days before it's supposed to be released.
But when will it arrive here?
So 5 days before it's supposed to be released.
So have they screwed up again?
It's supposed to be out on the 15th.
Oh, all those people go, oh, we know how it ends. It's like, yeah, you can actually probably just listen to the audio. So when's that coming?
Tomorrow.
Oh, okay. They'll just slide it through the letterbox then.
Oh yeah, there don't be I don't have to sit next to the door and wait like. It's not like sitting. Oh, it's not like.
You don't have
when
to do
Beano or Dandy was coming when you were a kid and you sat there at the bottom of your stairs waiting for the post box.
Can I just say, when I was a kid, I had a paper round, and I never forget, there was one house, I'm sure they only ordered the paper to feed the dog. Because I remember going to the letterbox, and as soon as you rattled the flap, you'd hear and I put the newspaper through, and it would grab hold of it and start shredding it. And I can remember having a tug of war with this dog, and it would and you just go shum. And it's like, why did they bother? Because it would just all be soggy and ripped up.
I love that. Buying the paper to feed the dog.
It's true.
I used to have that sort of thing happen when I was doing the politics. You go around and you put the leaflet through, and I couldn't tell whether it was a dog that was quiet behind the door or a person who was quiet behind the door. But there'd be certain doors, you put the thing through and it would just get pulled off you. As if someone was on the other side just yanking it.
They saw you coming, didn't they?
Probably, but...
Didn't you? Was it you who told me about the instance where you went to deliver a leaflet and they had a wet cement path or something?
Oh, it wasn't me. It was a friend.
And so because there was if you all politicians from all parties do this. It's expected. But if one of the previous candidates had left.
Oh, yeah, no. That was a joke. You've never taken stuff out of
Oh,
a
I
post
thought.
box. It's actually a crime. You're stealing.
Oh, right.
The joke is that he'd taken it from another
Oh, did he have
letterbox.
one on him from his house or something?
No. Sometimes they get dropped. So there was one on the floor.
Had a
That's
le-
how we normally get them.
So he had another party's leaflet on him. So instead of posting his own, he posted theirs so that they think that they went and
Yeah.
put the cement footprints.
Apparently he won by 2 votes. You know how many people lived in that house? 2 people.
Well, actually, no. If you won by 2 votes, and they would have normally voted for the other person,
You can't guarantee that the people vote the same way.
Do you remember one year there was the general election, and there was a constituency in Scotland that was won by a single vote. And you imagine they must have been recounting through the night over and over again for that.
That's bad.
Yeah?
I know someone who lost by fewer votes than there were members of his family because they hadn't bothered turning out.
Well, they went, oh, one vote won't change anything.
Yeah.
But I remember that general election, it was a Scottish constituency, and I think it was between SNP and Lib Dems. And the SNP won it by a single vote. And I said, I bet you there's somebody sat at home there going, oh, I didn't bother voting. I mean, one vote won't change the outcome. And it's like,
yeah, it can.
And it was if ever there was an advert for make sure you go and vote, that election, that constituency was, because it's like there it was, one vote would have changed everything. Or alternatively, given the SNP person 2 vote majority. But yeah, anywho, meanwhile back at the ranch. So I've turned actually the aeroplane round from the other week.
I noticed.
Because I think that side looks more impressive. They are decals. I didn't paint that by hand.
Yeah, you did.
But what's your...
You got out your checkerboard and
the
just
other one, where's it gone? It's up here somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
The Gotha, which is...
it's weird.
It's like a flying delta wing. What was the name of the company?
PM
Models or something.
Yeah.
I'm told they're distributed by through Bachmann. It's not a Bachmann owned
I was surprised
company,
to find that.
but they're distributed by Bachmann. Like I think they do Britain's as well. And it's an incredible plane. It's just so different. And when you look at that and you think that's a plane from 1944.
Yeah.
Experimental. I mean, if they'd have been able to deploy that at the start of the war,
It could fly at 600 miles an hour.
it could basically fly at the same speed as a modern jet airliner
Yeah.
does. And it's quite incredible thing. I do like that colour on the underside. If you're wondering about that colour,
Look how well it blends into the sky. You can see why they've
it's the whole
used it.
point.
Yeah.
Although
what I said
then,
is you
why
can
did they paint the end yellow? It's like, oh, go
It's
on.
experimental.
We'll give you a clue where it is. But what's your next aeroplane build? Because we've got quite a few knocking about.
The Spitfire that can land on water.
Oh, the float plane, the
Supermarine Spitfire float plane.
And is that the Mark 1?
I believe it's just...
Because there's something like
tell
about...
you what, I'll go and get it. You
There's
keep
there's
talking about the
about
news.
20... There's 20... Blah, blah, blah,
Oh my
of
goodness,
the
there's so many
They went
Spitfires.
through a lot of iterations. I mean, that's what a world war will do for development of aeroplanes. But it's always worth looking out in the mystery aisle in Aldi, because that's where we got most of these planes. So
These 2 PM models ones we got from Nuffy's down in
yeah,
Bolton.
Nuffy's models. Don't forget to, if you're in the Bolton area, do go check him out. He's got a good range of stuff. Yeah,
Tell us who that is.
No, tell him Jenny sent you, because it doesn't get me anything, but it just massages my ego a little bit. Because I come in and go, oh yeah, there was somebody in here. They said Jenny sent them. And he's got a good range of different stuff, lots of plastic kits. He's also carries stocks of remote control cars, that kind of thing. Tiny little shop, used to be Bolton Model Mart, but he's also got the mystery bin, which is like, it's brand new old stock. I think he's just having a rummage in the storeroom upstairs. And I've got a Bachmann branch line wagon, which is probably about 20 years old, but it was new in box. So the brand new old stock, I paid £8 for it. And that's kind of what they were back in the day. So, you know, you can get yourself some real bargains. And don't forget to check out all your local model shops. There's some great places out there. I've also noticed Great Eastern Models has been putting a lot of posts on. They've got some Facebook groups on Facebook. And
My God, are you sure?
they've got a lot of second-hand stuff that they're listing up, and I've seen some incredible prices on that. So again, if you go to Great Eastern Models, or give them a ring on the phone. If you go like, Norwich, I don't know, that's like right over there. You can ring up and have them post stuff out. I've actually done that in the past. I've bought stuff over the phone from them. A lovely pair of gals, and you get good treatment there. And there's a good range of stuff. So if you're ever in the area, do pay a visit. And if you're ever over in Hull, you can really confuse the people who run 53A models by telling them that Jenny sent you. because they have no idea who I am. And they've got no website, nothing like that. I mean, they're about the same age as my parents, so they've been running that model shop since I was a small kid. I remember going there
And that's a
in
long
the
time ago.
1980s, I think it was. And of course, John at 53A Models, when you look at some of the backmen, they use pictures either on the boxes or when the models are first announced. Sometimes they'll show prototype pictures. Quite often you'll see that the photo credit is the 53A collection. That's actually the guy who owns and runs 53A Models. And who else? Oh, Hereford Model Centre. We've always got to name check Hereford Model Centre. Let's have a different view.
Normally bargains.
I'm going to press the button.
Hit the liver.
Hit the river. Oh, it's playing ball. It's playing ball. So you get to see a little bit more today. So just in case you're joining us late, it is a pre-record. Late. Gandalf, it's your magic code word. Late.
A Monday clubber is never late to the wagons, nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to. Are you trying to take over from me, Jennifer Kirk?
No. I was just oh, tumble of clowns. Look. Ooh, shiny. So you're actually going to try and make this now?
There doesn't appear to be an inside thing that I need to paint.
Can I just say actually as well, the other beauty of these kits is that they're
Remarkably simple.
They're simple but effective. I mean, as you saw with the
incredibly
Gotha,
effective.
the Gotha actually really great kit.
Okay, I'm going
Paints
to
up
need
well.
a few things from you.
What, glue?
You might have to cutters.
You might have to have a look down. You might have to have a rummage for the glue.
Why? What have you done with
Oh,
it?
the sprue cutters.
Do I have to go and get my Warhammer ones?
No, you can use my emergency spare pair. Actually, wire strippers. They'll do, won't they? Will they?
No. I'll go and get my...
I haven't even got my craft knife up here. I'm sorry, you'll have to go
I'll go and get me Warhammer. Where's the glue?
The glue? I just said you had to have a rummage. It's behind there. Oh, come on.
I can't be expected to see things.
Is that it?
Yes.
Or is that decal fix?
Liquid poly.
That's
look.
Ooh. Yeah, don't do that at home.
No,
kids.
don't. That was a joke. Everyone, I will slap my hand.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we cannot recommend highly enough not drinking glue.
Yeah, it gums you up. I mean, you won't have diarrhea.
But seriously, the pieces in this are remarkably detailed, but so simple.
It's a very crisp. It's very crisp,
yeah,
isn't
it's
it?
very new.
I think the actual molds are pretty new. They're good and crisp, but
the artwork for this is dated 2020.
So this is actually quite a new kit.
Yeah.
They're really nice, actually. I don't want to take anything away from the Airfix kits. I love the Airfix kits. But these are really good as what appears to be a comparative newcomer to the market. And if you missed the news earlier on, we had the announcement that the Dapol Air Ministry tankers in 00 gauge have hit the shops, look to be something really special indeed. I am going to try and get some actually go to a shop and buy them because I think they're really, really good. But I suspect that they will sell out quite quickly because they do seem to be the next level of standard. And of course, we had Richard Watson on earlier on with an exclusive interview all about Accurascale, the Class 60. And I snuck in a few questions as well about New Junction, his YouTube channel. And it's always a pleasure actually to chat with Richard, see him a lot at the shows, hanging out on the Accurascale stand. So it's always a pleasure to have a chat with him. And of course, an amazing modeler as well. If you follow the New Junction YouTube channel, I've got a great project. I'm quite jealous with the amount of space and that layout he's building. It's a really great layout for watching trains go by. And I say he's had a good go with the static grass applicator.
You love a static grass applicator, don't you?
I'm a real convert to that. War World Scenics, big up to War World Scenics and the War World Scenics posse.
Oh,
and
speaking of War World Scenics,
can I just say beverage of choice, Diet Coke in a can?
I need to get a look at their catalogue because I got into Warhammer 40,000.
Yeah, she's been sucked over to the chaos dark side.
You You take that back for the Emperor.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. Live long and suck it.
What I'm actually saying is, I need a war game board, basically.
Yeah, the thing is though, static grass probably wouldn't be such a good idea because it'll
No,
get
but they've
flappy.
got all kinds of other stuff, haven't they? Because they're from wargaming.
I would say that, yeah, but if you're going to have like a futuristic post-apocalyptic landscape, you'd go for a lot of like sand and gravel. It would be more like the Nevada desert.
Well, so, but speaking
We
of...
could make one, you know.
Yeah.
That'd make a good.
That's the plan.
That'd make a good video topic.
For JK2.
yeah,
Planes,
well.
Trains and War Games.
How big would it need to be?
6 by 4 feet.
That's a lot of board, actually.
So what I'm thinking is do it modular with snap together or bolt together sides so that clips in, and then you can have it in a good place. But
You said but.
I was looking up stuff because I really wanted to cover some wargaming stuff on the second channel, and what I found was not what I expected.
What?
I remember seeing this. It was almost like Warhammer, but not from Games Workshop.
Oh, was this the Airfix one in the 90s?
I thought it was Airfix in the 90s.
And it turned out it was.
It's not. It's that I can't find where it is. I saw it once in a model shop in Preston in their back room where I'd never seen anything
Oh,
like
was
it
that
before.
Transport Models in that mill building?
Yeah,
Yeah, next to the place where they sold all the cigars and stuff.
and the Harley Davidsons and all that.
Yes,
yeah.
yes, yeah.
Here's the thing, though.
Uh-huh.
What I actually found wasn't that. I can't find any reference to that. Instead, I found Airfix Wargaming.
All right.
And
okay.
it's interesting. Their kit is interesting from 2016. I don't know whether they still produce it or not, or whether it's now out of print. The idea was that right, you buy this box, and it's the introductory set. It's got all the rules, dice, and cardboard pieces that represented all the things.
Okay, yeah.
The idea being that as you progress, if you like the game, you replace them with Airfix kits of those models.
So it's like a try before you buy. So you start the game,
Essentially, yeah.
and it's I like that because it doesn't then hide everything behind a paywall.
Yeah.
So it's like you can play the full game, but as you progress, you can actually, at your own pace to suit your pocket, you can actually buy the actual things.
Yeah.
Because you can't do that in Warhammer. They don't do little cardboard cutouts
No,
on
they
a
don't.
base.
I mean, technically, you can play Warhammer just by writing the troop onto a piece of paper and put it on
But
the
is that
board.
tournament legal?
No, it's not. It's not tournament legal. You couldn't take it to a war game group and say you're doing this, but technically you can do it because the figure just represents an idea.
Can I ask, does Sprue Man count as tournament legal?
For those of you who don't know, the only thing that's legal in in an official Warhammer tournament is stuff produced by Games Workshop, which rules lawyers went, well, the sprues that you get the pieces attached to.
The Sprue is an official product.
It's an official Games Workshop
They
product.
cut up the Sprue and made their own figures and went, it's tournament legal.
Yep. It's tournament legal sprue man.
I'm going to press the button.
I just love that. So they turn up on the various forums.
I think
as
that
a
they.
joke.
Can I just say? I think they should have a set of official stats for Sprue Man,
That would be so cool.
and it's just like it doesn't matter what he looks like, as long as he's made out of Games Workshop Sprue, then Sprue Man
Yeah.
can save the day.
His special power is tournament legal.
Yeah, and basically you've got to make a cape out of part of the box,
That would be so cool.
and it's Sprue Man to the rescue.
But yeah, I just love the idea of this Airfix wargaming set. So I'm going to look it up and see if I can get a copy. It's from what I can tell, is out of print at the moment. But whether they'll do another round, I don't know. But it's definitely,
the
if I can
thing
get it, it's going on JK2.
The thing about Airfix is that they tend to actually rest kits for a while. So
Yeah.
they've got a big back catalogue of lots and lots of different kits.
Yeah, the Boeing
But
Flying Fortress at the moment is not in
Well,
the set, but I
Cat-
made it as a kid.
Catalina flying boat, short Sterling, the motor torpedo boat, that's another one. I'm trying to think what other, a Transport Corsair, and some of the ME 109. That one as well. I remember building that as a kid. The RAF refueling set. There's
Oh,
quite...
you do mention that a lot, yeah.
Because actually, the RAF refueling set, the recovery set with the Queen Mary trailer and the tractor unit, and also the RAF crash set, which has, I think it's like an Austin ambulance and a AEC Matador fire truck. They're actually really, really easy to make civilian versions of them, and they're pretty much the right scale for 00 gauge layout. So I really liked them as a kid, and actually Grove Street Yard still has, it's not called Grove Street Yard anymore, sold that to Warbler Productions, and
I couldn't tell you what they called
he
it
did
now.
tell us, and it was like, oh yeah, you did say.
And then I am so sorry, Wobbler, because it goes in one ear and out the other.
But in the scrapyard at Grove Street Yard, there is actually my RAF emergency set got turned into civilian versions in the scrapyard because the Austin ambulance has an incredibly detailed underside. So if you take the body off the top and turn it into just a chassis, you can actually make a really good scrap vehicle, especially if you pose it upside down, like it's in a junk pile.
I can imagine
Because
that
it's
would
got
work well, actually, yeah.
all of the chassis members, it's got all the axles, the drivetrain, the exhaust system, fuel tanks, all that kind of stuff, and it's just perfect for that kind of a role. So it's greatly missed, actually. It'll be back. It will be back. But the RAF refueling set had a Bedford QL tanker and an AEC Matador tanker as well. And both
Did the Matador tanker always look like it was about to connect and then it go, Olay!
But no, but you could imagine though, especially if you've got something like an airport for just civilian airport stuff in the 50s and 60s. My guess is that after the Second World War, a lot of this stuff was sold on for civilian uses. I know that the AEC Matadors were a firm favourite of things like haulage companies, but also logging companies that did a lot of the the heavy-duty off-road hauling the logs out of the Forestry Commission forests. Tended to favour those sort of vehicles. The Diamond T as well was another former military tractor unit which found a lot of civilian use in heavy haulage. And a lot of these actually persisted. I remember them in the 80s just clinging on. There used to be a company in it's on the road towards Cark and Fluckborough in the Lake District. No. And I can remember passing the yard, and there always used to be an AEC Matador logging tractor recovery type truck there. The other place was on the M6 between junctions 15 and 16. There was a place where there was like a big yard where they did a lot of logging and stuff. And I can remember in the 80s that yard having AEC Matador recovery type vehicles that clearly they still used. I suspect a lot of the ones that survived the 1980s actually passed on into preservation. So if you go to a rally and you see things like big AECs, that's probably how they survived into preservation, was via some of these firms. But the Bedford QL as well was a nice rugged tanker that was an absolute joy to build, it must be said. So, big up the Airfix kits.
Speaking of kits, Jim,
yes.
Are there any kits of locomotives that have never been done and ready to run?
Now that's an interesting one, because Airfix... Actually, they're not Airfix, they were Kitmaster. They're now actually part of the Daypol stable.
Daypol Kitmaster, yeah.
And I think all of the ones that they did are now represented in ready-to-run form. But when they first came out, they were things like the XL&Y Pug. They had the J94 was another one. What is the Wagon and Mashing About railcar as well? It was probably the last man standing. And it wasn't until Hellion brought that out. Actually, we did
That was this year.
No, because that was a run. I think originally it was 2012 for that.
Oh, right, fair enough.
But we did a full review on that actually. Really interesting little model, and the livery as well. That track recording livery I thought was, really quite eye-catching.
That was nice.
And the thing about those little rail buses is they're perfect for such a wide variety of models. Now, if you've got like a small branch line where you've got a lot of freight operations, you can run one of those as perhaps like a little passenger service clinging on. You can also use it on a big layout like Weir Yard, particularly the track recording ones. Perfect, absolutely perfect for a layout like this, to have a small, unusual train to poodle around. I think they also did the RTC version as well, which be another perfect go anywhere type train too. But I can't think of any others. They do Stephenson's Rocket. I mean, we've had Stephenson's Rocket.
I was very surprised when that turned up as a ready to run, because it didn't feel to me like the kind of thing that you could do very well. Well, no, motors and all that.
Triang originally introduced it in
the
early 1970s.
Wow.
But not really to scale. Everybody thought it was great at the time, and it was, but it was very much a compromise based on. See, look at that. That's. Look how quickly she's put that together.
Go on, take that. And spin it.
Oh, this is what we used to do. This is how you make them. You know. Oh, that.
It's a little bit loose.
Do you get the impression there's a bit you forgot to put on?
Nope, I think what has actually happened is I haven't pushed the bit that's supposed to hold it in place quite far enough.
I think you're going to have to glue that propeller. That's...
It's a shame, isn't it?
Yeah, I think you're going to have to glue that because you messed it up.
Unless I just pop it apart again and do it differently.
Okay. I think you're supposed to push it all the way on, so there'll only be a little gap. Did you glue the little thing on so it won't come back off?
It's glued, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, we'll see how it turns out. But these are a fun little build, actually. We can well recommend these. Nuffius Models has them. But I think any Bachmann stockist also carries stocks of these. Where's the box? There's the box. So they PM Models.
Yeah.
So I'll just show you the logo, actually. So big up for PM Models. Distributed by Bachmann, and these are well worth the money. $7.99 this cost at Nuffies Models. I think some places are doing various discounts on them, but definitely pick yourself one up. Because I put them on as a bit. Oh, you be careful there. Yeah, if you knock that over, we'll know about it because we'll be high on fumes. We might have
That'll be a sticky situation.
Well, it's not that. We'll have to abandon filming because the fumes will be everywhere. It'll be too intense. But just to remind people, we are on a pre-record tonight for technical reasons.
The technical reason being we were talking to someone who couldn't come on live because unfortunately it was a timing issue.
Yeah, so we actually spoke to Richard Watson on Friday. Today is Friday we're doing this. But yeah, we spoke to Richard.
What are you like?
Sorry, it's confusing when you've got to pretend it's a week next Thursday.
It's not a week next Thursday, it was 2 weeks last Friday.
No, it wasn't. I don't know. When's this go? I don't know.
3 and 6.
Greetings from the past.
Our ways must feel quaint.
yes, very much so. But I think that camera's shifted. But actually, it's quite a nice shot there. You get to see all the wagons in Weir Yard. And one of the things, actually, we've got coming up, it'll be this week, actually, the DCC Concepts Aegis system has all been fitted here on Weir Yard. Brands love it. I'm in love with it, actually. It makes things so much easier and more efficient. But one of the things that does is you can take your NCE power cab wireless, and that in turn means that shunting is a very real possibility because you can get up close and personal with where you're doing the shunting. And I might actually try and do a shunting video here on Weir Yard just to see what it's like. I'm not normally one of life's shunters. I much prefer to just sit back and watch trains running. But no, I'll give it a go. Oh, that's working a lot better now that you've done it properly.
Oh, be quiet.
No.
You know I don't
gonna
do
get-
things properly.
Yeah, you're going to get glue all over the canopy again.
You're going to get glue all over the canopy.
The whole
again.
system's going to get glue all over the canopy. I actually really enjoy painting them. Making them is secondary to painting them for me. But I really enjoyed that Bristol...
Bristol Bulldog?
Yeah. Which, we've already seen it before. So I'm going to go for front wear yard. Press the... Hit the lever.
Hit the lever.
Hit the lever.
Kick the buttock.
Yeah, something like that. So,
Jen?
I'm really... What?
Do we have a sponsor?
Yes, we do. Oh, you want me to name check them? So today's sponsor is TMC, the Model Centre. Your first choice for new and also a curated second-hand, where you know that you're going to be getting something that has been checked out and made sure that it is exactly what it says on the tin. You can also customise any model, new or old, by requesting their custom weathering service. You can get things renumbered, renamed. They do all of that. So TMC, the Model Centre, you'll find details down below. Also, you can pre-order all of your Accurascale Class 60s there as well. So do check them out today. I glanced over, I thought, I'll glance over and see what's running. And, oh no, there we are. There's a train coming round. I do like that Class 37, actually. The weird thing is, when I first got back into railway modelling, I had no interest in certain locomotives. The Class 37 was one of them, and it's very much grown on me. And for a long time...
You can get it. You can see the doctor about that.
Yeah, you get a cream. It takes it off.
Okay, I have an issue now.
What, a severe case of dropsy?
No, with this model, there is one thing
that you've forgotten to put in.
No. Is it just me, or does the third instruction suggest, ladies and gentlemen, that I cut the bottom of this piece of the tail and attach that?
May I have a look? Right, so what is that piece?
This.
I know why. I've just realised...
Is it an optional piece?
No, where's the picture? I know why. It's because they're using some of the parts are interchangeable between different kits. You've got the float plane version, so that's a modification for the float plane version. So, if you hold on a moment, I'm sure I've got somewhere... Sure I have. Oh, there we are. Right. Ta-da! Modelling saw.
Thank you. So I am actually supposed to cut this.
Yeah, let me screw the lid on the plastic cement.
As long as I know, dear. As long as I know, I will do this.
Yeah. Essentially, I think what it is the kit contains options for 2 different versions of the Spitfire, which makes sense. So tooling is interchangeable. But because you're building the float plane version, you need to swap that little bit with a bigger bit. Oh, we've got a moth in here. Blooming moth. Where did they come from? They just turn up from nowhere.
Well, a mummy moth and a daddy moth.
Zoe.
Thank you very much.
Zoe. I think there's a whole pile of with your name on it.
So, yeah, did you mention the sponsor, my dear?
I did actually, yes. Because you weren't paying attention.
I wasn't. I was reading this instruction trying to go, are they actually asking me to cut this after I've glued it together?
Will you try not cut your hand?
No.
I could, just your finger was getting... But ladies and gentlemen, I'm watching the cupboard monkey here get ever so close to cutting a finger with the modelling saw. And that is quite sharp. Unless you're trying to actually cut something like plastic, in which case it's blunt as anything. But it mysteriously, like all modelling tools, it becomes razor sharp when it comes into contact with your finger. So, this knife's blunt. Oh, actually, it's, yeah.
So, have you got through all the news?
Yeah, there isn't really a lot.
You never get through all the news.
Well, I never remember what all the news is. That's part of the problem. And I don't have you guys in the chat today because we're on a pre-record. They normally remind me, oh, you could talk about this. But we've put a lot of videos out recently. We actually had a Saturday special. That's how much stuff we've had to get out.
It's been quite a lot of stuff coming through. I've been very shocked. Let's put it that way.
So we had to do a Saturday special because we had a Hornby review that we needed to get out. It just meant, oh, you know what, we'll put it out as a Saturday special. So I'm sure people enjoyed that over the weekend.
I hope they did, because it was actually quite an interesting model.
It was actually. That was the Ruston 88 DS from Hornby.
It was tiny.
It is, and when you think actually, that's bigger than the previous Ruston that they did. Some lovely models actually coming through. And I was having this discussion actually with Tramfabrique, and I must at this point also point out, big up to Sven at Tramfabrique. He's got sound files to suit the Bachmann 009 little Bagley Drury diesel locomotive that is recorded. And if you order a sound decoder, I think they're Zemo sound decoders, from Tramfabrique and specify, he will, for free, no extra cost, upload the appropriate sound file onto that decoder to suit the Bachmann model. So
that's very generous.
So you didn't hear it here first because you probably already read it online. But if not, then if you're wanting to go sound, then Tramfabrique is a really good place to go, because you'll get the Zemo sound decoder. And for absolutely free, he will put an appropriate sound file onto it, which really good.
If you swear at him, will he put an inappropriate one on?
Can I just say as well, he does have his own Terrier sound file. And the thing is, like with sound files for locomotives, if you get the same sound file for, like, say, for example, all of your Class 25, so that they all sound exactly the same, I always think that's a little bit pointless. So my philosophy is to try and get sound files from 2, 3, or even 4 different providers for that type of locomotive, because the real locomotives didn't always sound exactly the same. They'd have their little quirks, and I think it'd be quite nice to have different sound profiles. So one of the things I've actually done, he's got a really nice Terrier sound profile. Do ask him about it. So you could ask him if he'll put that on the Zemo Next 18 sound decoder. If you've got a Dapol Rails Terrier, and it gives you an alternative to the sound file that ships with the factory fitted ones. And I've actually done that. And it's subtle but different. And he actually told me he did go and record it from a real Terrier at a preserved railway. So it really is a great sound file. I've actually got it in my O gauge Southern number 2644 Terrier, and it's a lovely, lovely sound file. So, you know, ask. Tell him I sent you. That's always the best thing to do. They're like, oh no, but Jenny sent me. No, then I'm going to charge you £5 for saying her name.
Why did you say that name?
Yeah, but for the benefit of anybody who's running a little bit late, is Gandalf.
Monday Clubber is never late, Toto Wagons. Nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Thanks, Gandalf.
You're welcome.
Incidentally, we are going to be showing some of your videos later on in the stream. So I know people asked last week, and I don't think we were able to show too many. The time just whizzes by. So,
it really does.
So we're going to try and show quite a few videos. So stay tuned. And of course, as always, you can submit your videos. Links, please. Make sure it's your video. You cannot share somebody else's video, because that's naughty.
Well, not just that. So it leaves us open to copyright strikes
Absolutely.
and all sorts. The last thing we need, because we are here for the community, the last thing we need is to not be here for the community.
Absolutely. And send those to zoe.robinson@gmail.com. And if you put Monday Club in the subject title, it makes it a lot easier for us to find them. And they need to be links to your video hosted somewhere like, for example, YouTube. Or you can send us photographs of your layout progress as well. Or indeed, if you've gone and visited a model rail exhibition or a preserved railway, then it's always great to see from those as well. And actually, coming up, incidentally, over the next month or so, we're going to be hopefully having quite a few exclusive interviews and content from Hornby as well. we're organising some really interesting exclusive content. So do stay tuned for that. And of course, the best way to do that is hit that like button.
Yeah.
And don't forget to share this stream as well, because I'm sure there's a lot of people who would like to see that exclusive in-depth interview with Richard Watson from Accurascale, all about the Class 60, and a little bit of talking as well about his YouTube career. I don't think I've ever seen him interviewed about YouTube. It's
He certainly didn't seem. How can I put this? When you meet him in real life, he's a lovely guy, but he seemed a little bit at the start like a deer in headlights.
a bit shy.
Yeah.
It's like the thing is, Richard, he's a good lad, but he's very, very modest as well. And yeah, I think it's that's come together nice.
Incredible, isn't it?
Oh, is there no rake to the wings?
What do you mean?
Normally,
it's a very simplistic thing.
Oh, that has come together quite nice.
I like this. It's not the most detailed thing ever, but you know what? It works. It works really well.
They're perfect for stringing up above a model railway.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think if you want something with like lots of extra detail and you can do a lot with, if you want to make the model plane the main feature, I think it's still Airfix have got the edge. But if you want a really good budget priced model, which is perfect for being part of the scenery on your model layout, but also I could see this kit being perfect if you've got a child maybe to get them into
this
modelling.
would be a perfect starter kit. Absolutely.
Yes, if you've got a younger child you want to introduce to building kits, these are perfect. They're not too difficult, and they can get that really great sense of achievement.
There are 6 steps in the instructions.
Yeah, and the nice clear instructions.
That's the instructions, 6 steps, and then there's a painting guide in the back. This is definitely a starter kit, it's an introductory kit.
Yeah.
But it is so good.
Why is the underside of the aeroplane painted yellow? Is that yellow?
It's a bright yellow, yes.
Does it give you a clue on? I'm curious what paint colour that is.
Yellow.
Well, no, it's like...
hang on, it does tell you. It's got the Hornby and the Revell kit
Yeah,
colours.
it has. That's the other thing I like about it. It tells you what colour you need
in various
from
manufacturers' colours.
each of the manufacturers that do them. So we need a Humbrol 116, Humbrol 106, Humbrol 24. I think I do have that. Humbrol 33 I definitely have. There's no Humbrol number for that brown though. I can find a close approximation. I don't know if I've got 106 or 116. It's Ocean Grey.
I'm going to say, without doubt, I am very impressed with these. This is great.
Yeah. See, I'm going to enjoy painting this actually. 24. If I don't have Humbrol 24, which is like a matte yellow, I think I need to get a tin. I did have one back in the day. I remember using it back in the day. I'll have to have a good look and see if I've got some. But are we nearly ready then to start showing videos? You've queued one up there. How long have we been going?
Oh, we've been going ages.
Gosh. So are we? Do you want to show
We're actually
video?
past where we were going to start, but I just got so into doing this kit.
Yeah. Well, come on then. Let's
do it.
Yeah.
So first up, we have one from Richard Swiderski who says, "Hi Jenny, Zoe, and the Toaster Duo. A short video of
toasters are in toaster
of the
toast.
Black 5 as it hurries through Hertford Station in Cheshire."
Ooh, I always love these.
So if you could do the honours in a moment.
Yes. Hit the lever.
Kick the buttock.
Okay, bend over.
No.
Oh no, it's full moon tonight.
So,
unskippable adverts.
I
It's not your
if you
fault.
could press the button.
Press the button.
Yeah.
There we go.
Here we go.
Ooh.
Oh, the chat's just disable that. There
Yeah,
we go.
we are on a pre-record tonight, just to let you know. But don't forget to hit that like button, share the stream, and subscribe if you've not already done so. So this is nice. We've had quite a few videos from this location, from this YouTuber. Oh no, have you been bowled by the train?
It's like it's gone backwards.
Beep beep. No, it isn't. It's going forwards.
I said it's like it's going backwards.
No, No, it isn't. I look. You can see the super elevation there on the track. That's nice. That's nice.
Beep beep.
It is a lovely location because you get to see it coming from quite a distance. Your only thing is if you get bowled by another train, but you're not going to because it's already gone. Imagine if that train had been running late. That would have been
Look at the steam unit on that. That looks real.
Because it is. But no, that is lovely. And interesting, you can see the as it went under the bridge, you can see all the lamps work, and that's something that's really I think only comparatively recently have some manufacturers started to do working lights on a steam locomotive. And I think the problem is the steam locomotive, the lamps, you move them about, and if the lamp isn't on, it's not on the lamp iron, and it's how you do that in model form. Whereas with a diesel or electric loco, the lamps are all permanently fitted, so it's a lot easier to do the lights on a diesel and electric. But it would be nice to see working lights. Look, you can see them there actually as it's coming round the corner. But that is, you've got some lovely shots of this. Really, really nice. I like the bridge. See,
Richard always does get excellent shots. He's got a good eye for this.
I love the bridge. My eye is always drawn to the bridge from a modelling point of view. It must admit. And also, interestingly enough, if you look, that cutting side there, quite steep, will make a really good backdrop at the back of your layout. Right, look at them going, hey, oh, hello. That's a Mark II. Yeah, it's a Mark II. You can see by the curve on the bottom.
You love a curve on the bottom.
I love curvy bottoms, yes. So thank you,
you heard
so
it here
much.
First. Jenny loves a curvy bottom.
So thank you so much for sharing that with us. That was really.
Do you have any?
Any what?
You know the word. Scalpel or anything like that.
I told you. No, it's downstairs because I've got.
A shame. Because there is a little bit of an issue with flashing on this.
Can you very carefully whittle it off with that? So, that was...
Oh, there we go.
You got it? Is it stopping it from doing its special thing?
Yeah, there's a bit of flashing in the gap.
Is it flashing? Has it got a Mac on the The thing is, if you ever get... This is one for the ladies. If you ever get flashed by somebody, then just point and laugh. Because it's like, there's no better way to deal with a flasher than just pointing and laughing.
I really wouldn't.
Why?
Because it's all about power.
Yeah, but
and if you don't give them power, they'll take it.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, you've got to be careful.
Oh, right. I stand corrected. Right, anyway, party pooper. Do you want to put the next
I know you were wanting a joke, but that's safety first, you know?
Yeah, safety first. Yeah. Hit them with a big stick with rusty nails in. Anyway, come on. Next video. Go, chop.
Give me 1 second. I'm trying my best.
Remember how you said that we weren't getting through as many videos as...
I'm trying my best here.
I haven't got the extra camera set up, so I can't show you the look of concentration as she's desperately trying to stick a tail fin together. So that is lovely.
It's looking great.
I mean, that's come together really quick.
It really has.
Although your fingerprints in the tail is...
It looks weird because what I've got on my hands is actually called...
dirt.
What's it called? Apocalypse dirt or something like that.
Oh,
Apocalyptic dust. That was it. And it looks
is that a
kind
paint or is that...
It's a paint that has sand in it, so it's a very
Oh, you
textured
mean
paint.
masonry paint?
They call it apocalyptic dust. Dale Williams, Wobbler Production says, "Good evening, ladies and toasters. On Saturday, the 11th of May, the XLNER A4 Class Pacific, Sir
Hey, wait a minute.
Sir
How
Nigel
long have we
Gresley
been sitting on
passed
this?
through Atherton since the 13th of May.
Are you sure
Passed
we
through
haven't shown
Atherstone
this before?
Station again. I am sure, because it says again.
Wow.
This time in a rail tour to Chester from London Euston.
So it's been a month. I'm really sorry we've been sitting on this for a month.
And if I can get the next one up, aha, there it is. The next one up, we actually get to see the image. Not image, the video. Because it's one of those situations, what can I say?
Right, we have a situation. Sorry, I'm just giving the turntable a little bit of the old 1-2 action.
Yes.
got a Kobo on there, actually. I hadn't realised.
So here we go. We're going to have a look at this. Sir Nigel is coming through.
I'll be honest, the Kobo is on the turntable. I don't know, I'm twizzling the knob because you can't see
Sir
it.
Nigel's here.
Oh, look!
Oh, they're racing!
I don't think they're racing, but I do think...
amazing.
I think the driver, if we had the sound, I would think that if the driver of the train that was overtaking didn't go doo-doo just as he passed their cab, just to give him a bit of a like, oh, then he's doing something wrong. But that's actually quite a good... I love the way they're running in parallel. You really caught a good one there.
Yeah.
So here it comes. So look, he's minding his own business. Chuggity chug chug chug. Probably completely blissfully unaware that
it's a giant thing that's going up the side.
There we are. And at that point, the driver of the other train needed to go toot toot. I'm sure there's
You think he went toot toot?
I think he had a huge clown horn and he went yeah. There we are. Oh, that is nice. And again, look, we've got the lights on the front. We need manufacturers. We need lights on our steam locomotives. We really do. Oh wow! It's almost like it's sat in the station there.
We've been really good all year. Can we have lights?
So I presume we take screen grabs from the video, but that's actually really crisp.
It looks incredible.
And then, of course, the 47 on the back. I'm having a good look because I've got a review of the Hellion 47 coming up on Wednesday, and I've looked at so many pictures of 47s. But look, thank you so much.
How many have you looked at 47 pictures?
More than that. But thank you so much for sharing that with us. That was really, really great.
You can tell it was a joke because I don't really...
Well, because basically it was you spouting
nonsense.
Nonsense. Are you going to give this your undivided attention?
Nope.
Yet?
There's a snap together bit of the water thing. So
Did you actually glue it?
Yeah, it's glued.
But it snaps.
It snaps together, but it's glued to make sure that
it's actually. I mean, it's
incredible.
Really
I am so taken with these. I would not be unhappy to try the entire collection.
So how
it's got to that point.
How do these?
They glue on.
Where?
Underneath. See where it's got the bit on the bottom, where it looks like the covering for the landing gear.
Yes.
That is where it would go.
I don't know. There's nothing to locate it.
No, you just glue them on.
I think you're gonna have to take off that little bit of flash.
I will take a little bit of the flashing off. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, but it's come together so well.
Get rid of the flasher. So for anybody joining us late.
A Monday clubber is never late to do wagons, nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to. Hello, clowns. How are you doing?
Tumble of clowns. And always the straggler. But anybody arriving late, then this is... Yeah, but they are arriving when they meant to.
They are.
Yes.
That's why they shouldn't be late.
You know, Gandalf, thank you for stopping me from actually saying what I wanted to say.
Sorry, were you saying something, John? Do you want me to tell Gandalf to not say
This is a pre-record. So just so you know, for technical reasons, in order to get our exclusive interview with Richard Watson from Accurascale, we had to record it on Friday. So we've actually done the full Monday Club on Friday for the technical reasons.
It just made sense.
Well, you see, it wasn't free on tonight from your point of view, but future from our point of view. So don't be scared. Right, who do we have next?
So next up we have a message from Shanghai 264359.
Hello.
Yeah, long time no see in the emails.
I've seen them in the chat a few times, but not seen your layout for a while. I am looking forward to it.
So he says, "Good evening, both of you. I'm mixing the scales on my HO00 layout. The owner of the factory is a bit of a Swiss narrow gauge fan and has purchased a redundant narrow gauge coach, as well as a wagon for static display. They're actually HOM scale by, is that BMO?
I know that.
Goodness.
Was it? I think it might have been Pico Publications. Actually, had an old Pullman coach So was it Pico?
So I'm just going to slide this across.
There was a magazine that purchased an old Pullman coach and had it as part of their offices. Now this is the layout. I really like what he's done with his controller. So you look there, he's disguised his controller as a factory.
It's so good.
It's such a great effect. I do like actually the refinery type thing next to it. That's a lovely kit.
Yeah.
I'm guessing Fowler or Nock or Prizer, but it might be Walters.
The amount of detail that's on it is very impressive.
I love like industrial stuff like that. Is it just the one picture or
just the one?
All right.
It's very nice.
It is. And I love what he's done with his controller, and it just shows that you can do anything with a little bit of inventiveness. So thank you so much for sharing that with us.
This is why I love our show, because you get to see so much from the community. That
a lot of
think,
inspiration.
Oh, I wouldn't have thought to do that.
Absolutely, and don't forget, if you want to send in your pictures or a link to your own video, then you can do send it to zoe.robinson@gmail.com and put Monday Club in the subject title. That just
makes it so much easier.
Oh yes. So who have we got next?
From Clive Cobbold, we have the state of his electric locomotives. Oh, this is a nice looking one.
So I'm going to bring that up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a class 90, I believe. Yeah. In rail freight distribution.
I'll take your word for it. I'm going to slide you back across the other side.
Hey, what? Oh, moving me around.
I know.
Moving me around.
It's so bad, isn't it? I'm naughty.
Yeah.
Naughty.
Stop it. Right.
Okay. Was that naughty of me?
It was very naughty of you. Let me just move my biggest fan around.
It's got white hats.
That'll be a class 85. What do you mean white hats? No, they paint the cab
roofs. But I couldn't remember the word, so I said hat.
I think it does look good in this livery. And that's the original electric blue livery as delivered. I'm going to say, I was saying 85, but I'm now thinking that's an 86. But I think one of the reasons the cab roofs were painted white was because in summer it meant that it reflected some of the solar radiation. Anybody who's been in a Class 66 Ollie, looking at you, I know you do drive them, certainly the cabs can get really, really hot.
Bit warm, yeah?
In summer, definitely. So I think white cab roofs was an attempt to kind of reduce the amount of heat that they absorb.
Did it work?
It must have done, because they've done that with a lot of the 66s as well these days. But it also, as a livery, I think it looks really good. It's very reminiscent of, I can't remember, the Hornby 00 electric locomotive, I think, was an EL1, which would be a Class 81. But that's the livery that they were put out by Hornby 00. I think it was an 81, or it might have been an 82. I'm not sure. I'm not particularly up on electric locos, being able to tell many of them apart. From the side, I'm going to say 86 for that, but I could be wrong. That's a Class 150.
Livery. I like the livery.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what it is. Nope, it's escaped me. I do recognise it. That might have been a special for... Was that a special for Trains for You in Peterborough?
Trains for You?
It's a model shop.
Interesting name for a train shop.
Well, yeah, it works. It works. So that is really nice. So next slide, please. Also, the Class 90 behind. Oh, that's the other end of the same logo. I like the overhead gantry on the back there. You see at the back? The kind of the portal for the overhead. Really, really nice. Next slide, please. I feel like I'm giving a COVID briefing. Is that that's where we came in, isn't it? So
no, that's just what's come up afterwards. It's just the same one.
And that's more of the train.
Yeah.
Nice work in progress.
Really
the
nice.
overhead catenary is coming along really well with that. So thank you so much for that. Really
Very
great
impressive.
for you sharing that with us. Always, always a pleasure. But the overhead catenary, West Hill Wagon Works have done a really nice new range. I think it's such a simple idea, but often simple ideas are where it's at.
To be honest with you, the simpler that you can make an idea, the better usually.
Well, they're using magnets. So you place them on a magnet, but you can take them off again.
That's a good idea, yeah.
It's an amazingly good idea because it means that they're resilient to getting damaged if you knock them, because you just basically just push them off the magnet. But also you can take them off. And what that means is you can run your layout with or without the overhead catenary. So you can basically backdate it very, very easily just by taking all your catenary up. On an exhibition layout as well, it means they can be safely removed and put in a storage box for transport. And again, it removes a lot of the risk of damage.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah, and that's the thing about West Hill Wagon Works. They come up with so many amazing products. And actually, there are some new announcements from West Hill Wagon Works. Quite a few new products coming through from them as well. I don't know how they find the time, because it seems like every week there's a new product from West Hill Wagon Works, and it's always great to see them. Now, do we have another video?
Yes,
How are
we
we
do.
doing on time, incidentally?
We're fine. We've got a while yet.
Are you sure? I'm looking at the
We're
time.
fine. We've got a while yet.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
So,
I'll tell you when we're near.
will you? Will you?
No,
You say you will.
I'm going to keep you guessing.
You say you will, but your timekeeping is notorious.
Yes, I'm the notorious TIME.
It's like because your code word in the morning is just another half an hour.
Which, funnily enough, is exactly what we got.
Is it?
No.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't. Because there's about 36 minutes of the exclusive interview with Richard Watson from Accurascale, talking about all things Class 60. If you did miss that, if you're a late joiner, then you can catch that. It's back towards the beginning of the video. But the next video that we are showing from a Monday Clubber is from Colin Weaver, CP Model Railway.
Yep.
AKA Kumpenkan Model Railway.
Kumpenkan. So
Kumpenkan.
what we got here is it says a video DCC fitting the Pico Cato Large England.
Oh,
It's
yes.
his first instructional video, so this should be quite
Right.
nice.
Obviously, we can't play the sound. 'Cause
we can't play the whole thing, but let's have a look at
but
it.
this I think will be quite a useful video.
Yeah.
I'm interested to know what I was going to say what chip he's actually used.
I'm interested to know what video he's used. No, he's making the video, my dear. Press the button, please.
Press the
This is the
button.
Welshman. You did this as well, didn't you? So it'll be
I
interesting to see
I
the
have done a
differences.
hardwire, but mine was quite messy.
Yeah.
So I did
like
a full
it'll be
review of
interesting to
this.
see the differences.
I want to have another go, actually. I have now got a large England, and
So it's
I
11
want to
minutes
do
long. We're
a
gonna-
DCC fit. So it's going into the body.
What's that on the top?
A piece of cardboard. I think.
Oh, right. I see what he's done.
Secured with blue tack to
So
protect it whilst
yes.
it's.
That is
Right.
a nice idea. I like that.
Yeah.
And again, you
and-
get to see different ways of doing things.
Yeah, because these are just like clip-on bodies, and I do like what Pico and Cato have done. Again, it goes back to what we said. It's like sometimes simple methods are the best.
Absolutely.
So there you are. You just got to like jiggle it out, and off it comes.
Just a little bit.
Okay. That tumble of clowns are really having fun on that 55. Which incidentally is a Hornby HM7000 decoder
Right.
in the Accurascale Class 55.
So crossing the streams, babe.
Yeah, but see, one of the things actually, I think he'll tip. There you are. You see, on top of the motor, there's actually a bit of a gap between the two weights, and that I'm guessing is where he's going to put the actual decoder. Yeah, in the side pieces there, it's actually a split chassis, but it's really quite cleverly done, because you do get points that you can solder all the wires you need to. So I think it's pointing out where there's like a little wire from the back of each terminal on the motor, and it goes to a flexible phosphor bronze strip, which is where it's picking up from. What it means is you can isolate the motor with the greatest of ease and wire in your decoder. So even though it's a split chassis, it's a DCC friendly split chassis, if that makes sense.
That does make sense. Yeah, that's nice.
And having a small decoder in the groove on the top, I think is the way ahead. What I would suggest is if the decoder you get doesn't come shrink wrapped, make sure you use something like Captain tape
Just to keep it...
to go along the top, just
yeah.
to keep things happy. So he's showing off that it's actually nearly a centimetre. I think it's about 8 or 9 millimetres, which is more than enough for some of the smaller 6-pin type things that are on the market. So there's actually quite a bit of space in there, and it's like, please, please, please. I have actually spoken to Pico, and I got a sense that they were like, yeah, we keep asking, and they're like, yeah, Japanese. And this is what I find really quite peculiar, is that the Japanese love their gadgets. I mean, if you've ever seen a Japanese techno toilet, you'll know exactly what I mean. Oh yes, happy poo-poo time.
No, we don't do the silly
oh,
accents.
Okay, I'll get told off. I'm not allowed to do my silly accent, but you know, the happy poopy time toilets. They actually had one on a film shoot I went on, and it was a really, really posh, expensive house. And
You got to use a techno
I got
toilet.
to use a techno toilet. And I tell you now, I don't like them. But you know,
you don't want a Lou that talks back. Wow, he's made that go quick.
yeah, but the gadgets that the Japanese love in most other areas, like you would have thought that they'd like them in model railways, but actually Japan is very much in the DC market, which is a bit of a shame that they couldn't be convinced to put a 6-pin blanking plug and socket in there. So you can see, I mean, there's, I mean, one of the things, this is quite a technical video, so I would suggest going and watching this in full, because this is really, really helpful for anybody who's got the small or large Englands. But are you able to move on a bit?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's just showing you that little phosphor bronze strip, actually, which is right behind my head, is what you need to kind of get out like he's doing, and that's where the magic of the DCC fit happens.
Right.
But let's just move it along, and let's have a look at him fitting the actual decoder into the slot.
Is
So
this it now?
it's quite a small decoder,
That is
and you can
tiny.
see
It will fit in.
that actually looks like a Dula and Haas, but I suspect it's Zemo. But it's reminding me of Dula and Haas, and it's really, really small, and that's going to fit into the gap on the top. So if you just want to roll it forward a little bit, let's just see what it looks like after the install. So there we are. We've got orange and grey always power the way, being connected to the motor, and then the red and black go back to those phosphor bronze strips. He's used, it looks like white tack or something, to secure the decoder and protect it from making contact with any metallic items. And look how it has tamed the model. Before you saw it at warp speed.
Yeah, and now it's just going.
Yeah. So this is great.
Well.
So look, thank you for sharing it with us. It's definitely a video that you want to go and watch in full if you're needing to DCC fit a large or a small England. But thank you so much for that.
Yeah, that is impressive.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Colin,
I
for
think
sending that in.
a lot of people will find that really, really helpful.
Okay, so we are now coming up on the end of the show.
Are we? Oh, do we have any room for any more?
We have time for one more. Let's have a look and see. We've got one here from Harry Sedgwick. Replica Stevenson's rocket at London Locomotion Museum in Shildon.
Which he's forgotten to put the
hasn't been
attachment.
attached. Oh, that's a shame.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's a shame,
Harry
Harry.
Sedgwick, you didn't put the attachment.
That is a real shame.
So
We've got one from Gary Rawson who says, "Good evening, Jenny, Zoe, Gandalf, Topsy, Gronksy, and the Monday Clubbers."
Hello.
It's getting a mouthful in here, isn't it? I hope you're all well. Thank you for showing my video last time on the Monday Club for the wagon photos I sent in. During the video, you mentioned you liked the cottages on the race section. So here's a video of how they came together.
Oh, right, okay.
Oh, fantastic. Just give it a
There's
moment.
a lot of adverts at the moment.
Yes, YouTube is getting more advertising back in, which, to be honest with you, I see
which we don't see as
a good thing, to be honest with you, from my point of view. I always love his intro, Rawstone.
Always reminds me of Thomas the Tank Engine. You need a windmill down there. You need a windmill down there. These are lovely. So, the dry stone walling as well, can I just say, I love the way it follows the contours so well. Really, really well. Ooh!
That is very... Wow.
Ah, that's the static grass glue.
Right.
So you basically pour a load in and then use an old paintbrush to manipulate it around. So you can see that's exactly what they've done.
Same way that we've seen people do the static grassing before.
Yeah, I mean, it's if you want static grass only in certain areas, this is how you do it. You only put the glue in certain areas.
Yes. Rather than the spray that I've seen you and a few other people use when you're just doing a huge area and you don't really mind where it lands.
Yeah, and if you're doing multiple layers, then you need the spray.
But for everything else, you want a bit of precision.
And what I would say is, if you're wanting multiple layers, but you still want to have, like, say, a clear path, then use masking tape.
Yes.
That is a way to do it. But they're actually using a method that I've used quite a bit, and it does seem to work quite well, where you sprinkle the stuff on. And if you rub it between your finger and thumb like that above the workplace and just let it sort of slowly work its way through, it does give it a little bit of a static charge, which works quite well. Good use of the Woodland Scenics stuff there. Woodland Scenics have a good range as well.
Yes,
I'll get wronged by Martin at War World Scenics for advertising the competition. But no, like, credit where credit's due. Woodland Scenics range is really, really good, I have to say. I am also a huge fan of Woodland Scenics too. Every cottage or river. Oh, it gets an outhouse. Well, yeah, the little miniature people have got to have somewhere to go to the boggy crapper. Oh, he's spraying on. What is that?
All the little boys and girls need to go to the little boys and girls room, basically.
I think what he did was he sprayed on water to stop to get it so that when he's now dripping the glue on, you see how it's soaking in.
Yeah.
Right.
So
this is creating an extra layer, I guess.
Right.
The only problem with this is, I suppose, the bottom layer, one of the reasons it's not worth putting it on with the static grass thing is because it's going to get flattened in this stage. But it means you've got a ground cover that you're building over. And look, if you look here, it's using the masking tape. You know, I said about masking tape.
And it's a great idea.
Oh, yeah. I mean, masking tape, so many uses. The grass I'm using is... Oh, War World Scenics! Right, so... right. So I'm guessing the Woodland Scenic stuff was more of a kind of scatter for the base. 2mm summer and 2mm burnt grass.
And it works, just think, look at that.
Yeah. Look
and
at
there's different colours, different
well.
textures. The eye looks at it and goes, yes, that is
different
grass.
colours, different textures. I actually mix the different colours and even the different lengths in the applicator. I found that just mixing several together, and you don't thoroughly mix it, but you loosely mix it, and that way it comes out in a much more random manner. Also, good use of a piece of cardboard to stop the layering spray from going elsewhere. I think this is what he's using now, the layering spray. And then going for another pass. This, I think, is the burnt 2mm burnt.
Fantastic.
So you see with this, this is kind of the highlights, whereas the summer grass was like the big head of stuff. This appears to be the highlights, and you can see the subtlety of the different colours. It really does work well. You know, I mean, I've become a huge fan of static grass. I think I need to find something to static graph. What can I do?
You can do some stuff on your box file layout.
Well, yeah, I will do.
Now
I mean,
doing
that
extra areas. It's so clever.
And it's like, this is so enjoyable.
I'm just going to jump it on a little bit
building
more.
up stuff like this. And it's
and then
so there's the
pavements
hedge,
around the side and the hedges.
pavements, hedge.
This is incredible. The attention to detail is so...
this is the vegetable garden.
Is he putting them in with pins?
I think, are they...
They're on pins.
Is it like Prizer or Knock that do them? But hold on, it might say here. There we are. Scale model scenery greenhouses, then added with the scale model tree shop tomato. So they're from Scale Model Tree Shop. I mean, this is... They look really nice.
It's got little holes in the
you pre-drill the holes.
Yeah.
And then just put them in.
Glued on with pin. Oh, that is so good.
I like that.
Yeah, I do too. That is fantastic. And it looks amazing.
Incidentally, depending on time period, you would often find...
Look at how that is.
Oh, yes.
Oh, in the little thing to keep them going, the little greenhouses.
I love it. But you would depending on time period. Oh, that is great. Depending on time period, just bear in mind, you'd probably have a vegetable patch by signal boxes, because the signalman would tend his own little vegetable patch in the at the line side, especially during times when rationing was a thing.
That is amazing. Thank you so much. Oh, that is fantastic.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
Right, Jen, we are now well over time.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is well worth it.
It is, but we are now like 10 minutes over.
Look at that. I'm sure people won't complain.
Oh, they're not going to complain now.
Oh, that is beautiful.
It looks so good. And the time taken, the effort and the time that they put in.
Look
you
how
can see it all come together.
Those vegetable gardens
and
are
then an
amazing.
Anderson shelter.
Yes. Yes. And of course,
wonderful.
Oh, that is... Thank you so much for sharing that with us. So I'm going to press the button.
Thank you so much.
I really enjoyed that. There's some great ideas. Absolutely great ideas.
Thank you
so
so
much for sharing that with us. And I like the way as well, he also tells you all the products he's using. So, if you go and watch that video, it's got the full details of where you can get all those products. So that is amazing. I want to add. I need.
While you're waiting, you can add that.
So add
Careful with the.
Oh, that's quite heavy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's substantial. Spitfire float plane. I am super impressed.
It's like.
So what I'm going to do, Jen, is I'm going to leave this for you to paint.
Sorry, I'm like 8 years old again.
I'm going to leave it for you to paint, and then once you've painted it, there's the plastic bit to go on the top.
Okay.
So just be careful.
Okay, I'm going to put it.
I'm super impressed with that. The PM model stuff, it's definitely a beginner's kit, but you know what? It's great. It's absolutely fantastic.
I see. Yeah, so the sprues cater for
both styles,
both versions.
Yeah.
Because there's the landing gear for the regular version.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why are you putting them in the box?
Because I always put everything back in the box.
Well,
so that's out of the way.
Because then I have to take everything out again to separate it for recycling.
There you go then.
Oh.
The instructions are in there. You've got the decals.
Yeah.
This has got the paints guide on. There we go. Thank you so much, guys. This has been amazing tonight.
Thoroughly enjoyed it. It goes
always
so
flies
quick.
by, especially when you've got a 40-minute interview with someone like Junction.
36 minutes. Yeah, and thank you so much to Richard Watson from Accurascale, aka New Junction. It was an absolute honour, sir, to interview you, and really informative to learn all about the Class 60 from Accurascale, and actually get a bit of background as well. I think it's very easy to forget that, you know, people don't just go, oh, shall we do a Class 60? And then the following day they've got decorated samples. No. There's many years of work, and I think it would be foolish to assume that everybody announces their model at exactly the same point during the development.
If you think about it, even if you were 3D printing the model that you were thinking of doing, you've still got days upon days to design the CAD to print.
And also,
But before we go further in, do we have a sponsor today?
absolutely we do. The Monday Club is proudly sponsored by TMC, the Model Centre. Check them out at themodelcentre.com. The website features extensive stocks of new models as well as selective pre-owned items where you can track down that bargain you've always wanted. Pre-order with confidence all of the forthcoming models from all the manufacturers. TMC also offer a renumbering and renaming service so you can get the exact identity of locomotive that you want. Why not also check out their value weathering, or go for something incredibly special with their bespoke service where you can choose from a more extensive weathered look right through to custom graffiti either off the peg or to a design of your choice. Check out TMC today at themodelcentre.com and start your model journey. So there we are, another Monday Club comes to a close. Pre-recorded today just so we could get Richard Watson on, and it's been absolutely an honour to have your company. Thank you so much as well, everybody who shared videos and pictures with us. Some great ideas to take away there, and definitely some really interesting stuff. Really like the hardwiring of the Pico Cato Large England. I think that is going to be very useful to a lot of people, but those gardens and allotments, absolutely amazing. Will you stop messing about with Teddy? Can I just say, that's my childhood teddy bear you're messing around and disrespecting. He's older than me. I think he's like about 2 weeks older than me. My memory is that he was, well, not my memory from the time, but my memory of what I was told is that he was a gift from my grandparents when I was born. Wow. And Teddy has been with me through thick and thin. He's had open head surgery when his head fell off. And he's also had, I think, both legs and at least one of the arms have at different stages in time had to be sewed back on. And he's full of that foam that, you remember they banned the foam because if for whatever reason it catches fire, it gives off cyanide. Teddy is
perfect stuff to make children's toys out of.
Yeah, they used to make everything out of that.
I did love that in The Simpsons. Now, ladies and gentlemen, when we burn these, remember they are children's toys, so they will be toxic.
Absolutely, but look, thank you so much for joining us. It's been an absolute honour to have your company. And in case you've arrived right at the end, like some people still do, like, oh no, it's 9 o'clock, isn't it? The Monday Club starts. Gandalf?
A Monday Clubber is never late, Toto Wagons, nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to.
Thanks, Gandalf.
Thanks, Gandalf.
So, don't forget to hit that like, share this video, and subscribe to the channel if you've not already done so. And until next time, this is me, Jenny Kirk, saying you take great care. Happy modelling. Bye for now.
The train now departing. It's the well past 9 o'clock service to Grove Street Yard, stopping at Bolton Trinity Road, Mineth Cattus Newith, Eindhoven, Pittsburgh, somehow. That unnamed layout that Jenny said had a name, but turns out it didn't have a name, and she was just stringing us along. Boxton on file, Butts farting, and then on to Grove Street Yard. That's the well past 9 o'clock service to Grove Street Yard. And all remember, please change at 3 cops for Lord Hereford Snow.